One problem that we have right now is that our enter quantity field doesn't really work. And that's because we needed to add the cards controller in our app. So the first thing we gotta do is we gotta make that controller. And when we do Rails generate controller, cards, no test framework, no helper. After creating the controller, you can see that we have our controller, our view, and our assets. What I want to do now is I want to navigate over to cards controller, and I want to open that up. And the function that we are concerned about for today is the add function. So I want to do a def add end. And why is that? Well, that's because when we click, not in the right file, but when we click this button, this button has the class of added pop-up. This will get sourced to this JavaScript file for this function, and it will take all the you could say all the information on the HTML on the DOM, and it will put that into variables, and we will make a data array or key value pairs, and for example, we would grab the product ID, the tax, the title, the price, grocers, yada yada yada, and we would assign them to variables, and we would pass those in a post, which is an AJAX call that calls carts add. So this carts add with the parameters of data will go and be sourced to our cards controller. So that's your quick explanation. Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to try to find the item in the DB if it exists. So we do if current org person, and then we do an end. So we're gonna do a if this person is signed in, then we want to find everything that's in his cart. So what we do is we do cart item is equal to cart find by org person ID and the org product ID. So we're gonna find whether or not this item that we clicked add on is actually in the cart that is assigned to this person in the database. So if it doesn't exist and the user is logged on, then we want to create it for this user in the database. So if cart item is blank, that means it doesn't exist and the person is logged on. So we use if current person. Then we want to create it for this person. So cart item equals cart create, and we're basically going to take all those variables that we assigned in our catalogs.js and source them over. So this is what we're going to do. So that's that. So basically what we did here is we just took the product ID, which is all defined here. We're using these variables inside these params. So that's how we create an item that does not exist in the database to exist in the database. Now, if it exists and the user is logged on, then we want to update it in the database. So we do an else if condition here. And the condition is if card item, I mean it exists as a card item, we found it, and current org person, then what you want to do is you want to do a card item dot update, and you would want to update it with the fields that you want to update, which is name, tax amount, the price, the grocer, the quantity, the weight in grams, and the expiry date. Now, if the user is not logged on, then we just want to use sessions. So we're going to put that in the else statement. And let's just also finish this by putting our end in there. But in our else statement, we want to use session. So we're going to open a session, and it's going to have session, the symbol cart, and it's just going to be a empty array for right now, or empty hash, and we're going to use session cart, and it's going to be a multi-dimensional, so it's going to take params. So inside the cart hash there's going to be params, and the params would be the product ID of the item, and this will contain its own hash of key value pairs that we want to use. So we're going to open up the braces, and inside these braces we're going to put something like ID. We're going to put something like ID, title, tax amount, price, grocer, quantity, and weight, and expiry. And again, we're just going to take the 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 keys from our params, and we're just going to source that over. So that's pretty much that. And after the end, between these two ends actually, we are going to put a render nothing true, because this function is only called through Ajax, so the page never refreshes. So we don't want to render any kind of view when this function finishes. So that's why we use render nothing true. So that's our carts function. That's our add function, and it's what we need to actually add items to our database. Other than that, please rate, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.